seems like right now wealth is considered bad.
Yeah, and it makes me super sad. So my parents immigrated to this country. I'm the child of Taiwanese immigrants, and they believed that America was the land of opportunity and it's the American dream, and they came here for a better future for me and my brother, and it worked. And so I thought, America is awesome. We can just roll up our sleeves and work hard and like make a good life. And now people feel like the system's rigged in a way that stigmatizes folks who have made a lot of money. And that makes me very, very sad, because if you don't think you have a shot, don't think the system's fair, then it takes the American dream and makes it seem out of reach for most people. And I'm a numbers guy, so I get it. I mean, if the average age of a home buyer is, what is it now?
I hear different statistics. Now I thought it was like home buyers over the age of 70 outnumber those at 35.
Yeah. And like I saw like the average age of a first-time home buyer was like way too old to make sense. It might have been like 42 or something.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, well, that's not cool.
Yeah.
And so if a young person looks up and says, you know what? American dream is bullshit. It's out of reach for me. Like I can work hard. I cannot work hard. Doesn't make a difference. Like that is super the opposite of what you want. Like you want an environment where someone's like, look, if I kick ass and work hard and adopt, sound financial principles in my own life, like, I can make it, whatever making it means. For most Americans, making it probably involves owning a home, which, it's like, I know you guys might have different advice on that. I was a renter for a long time, so I was like cool with that. But I was living in New York, and I guess that's pretty standard.
I mean, that's a whole different vein that I'm sure Graham would love to go down. But first, I'm curious,
we'll get to that.
How much of that is mentality versus actual reality? Because the way I see it is there's more opportunity right now than there's ever been in American history, but more people feel like the odds are stacked against them now than they ever did in American history. So it makes me wonder, like, what is the reality? The way I see it, and from all of the people I talk to, everyone's saying it is as easy as it's ever been to get rich.
Again, I look at the numbers, and if you were born in the 60s or 70s, the odds of you doing better than your parents were, like 80%. I think it was like 94% if you were born in the 60s. I mean, sky high. And then you start getting into the 90s, and then it gets to 50% and then starts going below. So statistically, the odds of a kid doing better than their parents are now sub 50% in a way that was not true when I was growing up. In my mind, you should have an attitude like, look, you could give me any percent and I'm going to make it. Like you tell me the top, 30% I'm going to make it, I'll be in the top 30%. You tell me it's 20, I'll be in the top 20. Like, because there's no upside to putting yourself in like the bucket where you're not going to make it or the deck is stacked against you. I mean, that stuff is, it's not helpful. You just want to, one of the things that I took to heart when I was younger, it's like, look, if you believe you can succeed or you believe you can fail, you're probably right.
That's 100% true. 100% true.
It seems like from my perspective, though, anyone can make it, but it seems like the people who do have a smaller chance of making it. But when they do, they can make way more money.
That's the truth. I mean, shoot, we might wind up with the first trillionaire in human history.
100%. I think Elon Musk has so many incentives to hit the 1 trillion net worth.
Yeah, which is a crazy number that you would have thought. I mean, heck, a billionaire seemed like a crazy number not that long ago. And then now you might have it's probably Elon or Jeff Bezos would be the two candidates for it. So you have these extreme outcomes. By the way, in my mind, this is a real problem for young people adopting sound financial principles, because you look at it and you say, okay, I need like a higher variance strategy in order to get into the winner's circle. And so then you start seeing more aggressive behaviors and more speculative behaviors, because it's like, if I make 12%, like I'm not going to pat myself in the back. I gotta roll the dice for something higher. Whereas, for me, it's like, you made 12%. Like,
well, that's why young people are taking significantly more risk, because they see it as their only viable option out of just mediocrity or that middle. And they feel like they have to take extreme risk to get to the top.
Yeah, and it's narrative. It's not reality. Like, technically speaking, in the middle is way more comfortable than it was to be in the middle 50 years ago.
Yeah, I think you're right that what is it? Comparison is the death of joy, or something like
Thief
that.
of joy,
You're thief of joy. You have social media obviously bombarding you with images of what success looks like, and then you have people advertising their outsized winnings all the time, whether it's crypto or some investment or even some sports bet I made. Like that stuff's pervasive. I mean, it makes me sad and a little bit angry that I can't watch ESPN or any of the sports programs without someone telling me how to bet. And I'm just like, come on, man. I mean, like, and by the way, the numbers show that when you legalize online sports betting in a state, investment behaviors go down, because when I gamble, I actually invest and save less. And also, this is going to be super depressing, but domestic violence goes up by, I think it's 12%, 15%, something along those lines. And we all know what that chain of events was, which is that someone made a bet on a game or a parlay or something, and then it doesn't go right, and then they get super mad. So you can tell that there are negative macro effects from the legalization of online sports betting. But then if I go on social media or turn on ESPN, like I just see, it's like, oh shoot, like, DraftKings, FanDuel, and the rest of it. So there are all these forces that I think are pushing higher variance
What's
behaviors.
interesting is that we have a mastermind group called The Index, and we meet every quarter. And we met a few days ago, and we were talking about why certain items are going up in price so much. I'm talking like Rolexes, Pokemon cards, certain cars. And one of the theories was that because young people are not buying houses and they feel like certain things are out of reach, like buying a house, something price less is more attainable. And that might be buying a Rolex, spending the money in a car instead, because for them, a house isn't even an option. But they could get that brand new Corvette, or they could buy that $15,000 Rolex. And for them, that's the new signal of success than buying a house.
Yeah, I generally think that most people are rational, and when they're doing things that seem aggressive or irrational, I try and figure out why they're doing it, and I think there's actually some hidden rationality in the risk-seeking behaviors, because the conventional method, maybe they don't believe in it anymore, or the timing doesn't work out for them, and so they do things that like I wouldn't have done when I was their age. But then when I look at it, because when I was coming up too, so I don't know how much about my background you guys know, but I sold a company when I was in my early to mid 30s and made 7 figures. And so at that point, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like a 34-year-old millionaire. I can do no wrong. And then decided to become a bit of a do-gooder. Started an entrepreneurship organization. It's one reason why I love what you guys do in terms of trying to help people live better financial lives. I became convinced that entrepreneurship was what was going to get America out of its mess. But so my income might have been like, low, middle, low, like high, like zero, like my income varied wildly from year to year. So I always acted like whatever money I was making might disappear tomorrow. And I should be swinging for significant wins, as opposed to, like worrying about this expense or that expense. So it's kind of easy come, easy go. You guys read Nate Silver?
Mm-mm.
No.
You'd like him.
Cool.
So he wrote a book called On the Edge, about risk taking, and he talked about people who've gotten lucky, gamblers who got lucky, and then they sort of gamble assuming they're going to be fortunate. You guys are an example of this, in my opinion, where there's this experience of abundance where you have a bet, then it works out, and you have a bet and it works out, and you invest in the business, it grows, you like do this, the audience gets bigger, and then you just keep on growing. For you, it probably started out with real estate sales.
It did. Yeah.
And then, the first thing you sold, maybe it was like, X 100,000, and then like eventually got to $1 million. The first $1 million sale, you were like, oh, crazy.
Yeah. My first sale was $3,550,000.
Well, I guess
Set
maybe
the
your
bar
first thing was crazy.
high.
Yeah, that's way high. So you wind up taking these bets and these risks because enough of them have worked out, where then you can just keep on progressing. And that's a very different set of behaviors than a lot of folks who are hoping for, a 4% raise from year to year and like are just trying to put a little bit of money away. So what Nate differentiates between is the river, which is what I'm describing. It's entrepreneurs, investors, financiers, also gamblers. And then there's the village, which is I'm a teacher, I work for the government, postal worker, like where it's like a stable environment, and I might make a smidgen more next year than I do. And he said that these two groups are kind of at odds with each other culturally and increasingly politically. Anyway, so I realized from reading Nate's book, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm like a river person because I took a bet on my business doing well in my early 30s. And then when it did do well, then all of a sudden, you get this windfall that most people will never experience. And then it makes you think, wow, if I could do that, like I can do lots of other things.
Life insurance is one of those things that makes sense for a lot of people out there, but most people just put it off because it feels complicated, expensive, or time-consuming, but it doesn't have to be thanks to our sponsor, Fabric.
Fabric by Gerber Life is term life insurance that you can get done today. It's made for busy parents like you. It's all online. It's on your schedule right from your couch. You could be covered in under 10 minutes with no health exam required.
If you have kids, and especially if you're young and healthy, the time to lock in a low rate is now. And even if you have life insurance through your employer, it may not offer you enough protection for your family, and it usually does not follow you if you leave your job. Fabric offers flexible, high-quality policies that fit your family and your budget, including options like $1 million in coverage for less than $1 a day.
Fabric is partnered with Gerber Life, trusted by millions of families for over 50 years. There's no risk, and they even have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can cancel at any time. Fabric also has free digital wills, tools to invest in your kid's future, and more, all right from your phone.
Join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to protect their family. Apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/ICHclips.
Again, that's meetfabric.com/ICHclips. MEET fabric.com/ICHclips. The link is also down below in the description. Enjoy.